that. But for those of you guys who don't know who James, Andrea, Corey are, James is a diamond coach on our team. Been with us for a while now, a couple years now. Just plugging along. He has, he'll introduce himself, but he has, he's a traditional business owner who sees network marketing as a great opportunity. So, definitely write down pieces of his story, things that resonate with you, because there are going to be times when you're talking to traditional business owners and you can relate them to, hey, my friend James is a traditional business owner, and here's what he saw with this opportunity, right? He's also doing this because he saw X, Y, and Z. So I will let him explain that. I don't want to speak for him. Let me get off of me. I think I should be able to do. Oops. I don't know. James, are you there?
I'm there.
You have to unmute yourself.
I can't hear you. You're muted, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Got it. So I'm like huge, and this is really interesting. All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you for having us on. My wife Andrea and our baby Julia. She was giving you a little holler earlier. But yeah. So basically, Mark and I, we are some sort of distant step cousins. But we've been Facebook friends for a long time, and I really just always seen his stuff and his trips and things that they were going on, and knew he didn't work, obviously, right? No, I'm just kidding. But he's posting these trips, working out, 6-pack, and it was like 3 years ago at this time that we really kind of connected, and we have 2 other traditional businesses, like Mark said. We have a photo booth company. We do events and weddings and parties and all that. And we also have a hot rod shop where we've that's actually what I started right out of college, and that's that's kind of the entrepreneurship that we've done and have been doing. We still currently have both of those companies. Julia. We've been able to step back from the hot rod shop, but the photo booth company, it's still 100% us. So kind of where this all started was we were looking at, we were hitting 30. I was hitting 30 years old, and I needed to be proactive with my health, understanding that I'm an athlete and I've always played sports and I was able to keep the weight off. But once I stopped doing those things, once I stopped doing those things, that I had to do something. So we started, going to the gym, and we have 3 children now. 2 children then, and it was just difficult. We weren't working out together. We were, who was watching the kids, childcare, the times that they were actually open for childcare, and on top of that, I was intimidated by working out because I never worked out before. So I'd go on the elliptical or the treadmill and didn't know what I was doing. So I actually met a friend that I played basketball with, who was training people, and he was ripped and in shape, and so he offered, hey, do you want to work out with me? And that's kind of where it all started. And then I was like, man, this is awesome. It was great in the winter when it was like dark half of the at 5 o'clock, but then spring was coming, and we love to be outside, and we have jet skis, and that's kind of more our thing. So 2 hours at the gym, 2.5 hours, whatever, it just wasn't going to work out for our lifestyle. So, and that's when I started seeing more of what Mark was doing, and he posted out there, literally, are you interested in what I'm doing? I'm going to have a webinar that explains more. I would love to have you on. And I was like, yeah, I kind of want to know what you're doing, because you're going to Disney, you're going to Jamaica, you're doing these trips, and we're not doing that. You're working out and you're fit and you're with your wife and your family. I'm like, yeah, that's more the lifestyle we want. Now, we had traditional businesses, and they weren't kind of the retail ones where they completely owned all our time, but they still consumed a lot of our time. And we were, I was also at a point where I knew that I wanted to do something bigger. I was looking into everything. I mean, I was looking into blogging. I was doing a lot of personal development. I was kind of at a point where I was saying, is this all I'm here for? Is just to make money and survive and get through life? And that was definitely not. I was at the point I said, if it's just about money, I'm done. I don't want to do it. I'll go and be a missionary. Or I was even talking to our pastor about maybe checking out that line and seeing what a day in the life of a pastor is. Or we're huge with Dave Ramsey. actually looking at, talking to some of them about positions or a way we could work together or something, because we're huge in the Dave Ramsey and getting people to live debt free and opening that up. So it was all kind of a perfect storm, because we were looking for something, and we knew that we're here for a bigger reason, a bigger purpose. So so Mark and I were talking, and it just sounded amazing, but also at the same time, I was a huge skeptic. I was like, this is kind of too good to be true. It sounds like one of those pyramid schemes, which they didn't know what a pyramid scheme was, but it's just an easy out, right? So I put it through I tried poking holes in it. I spent a month, researching everything, typing in every Beachbody's a scam, this and that, and couldn't find anything. Could find people that weren't happy with Beachbody because they didn't do the work, but also found people that did the work and were super happy with it. So just dug into the business model and really the business model of helping others, and being ultimately the way that we really build this business is being a leader in helping others be able to achieve their goals and dreams. And that's one thing we were not doing with our other companies. We were not helping anybody else but ourselves, really. Any business, it's kind of the business model, right? You're trying to make as much money for the business that you can, or for yourself. You're not looking to try to help other people become 6-figure, 7-figure earners. It's just not your goal. Your goal is to make the company, which is you, more money. So that kind of is how we kind of got involved in Perfect Storm, and we love it. We love the business model. We've been running this for 3 years and growing, and every time we come off of a trip, the passion just reignites. Andrew, you want to talk about anything about kind of your history or past, or
just to kind of like bring down the official ship, where am I supposed to be looking?
Oh, right here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hi guys.
Sorry.
If you've been seeing me like this, it's because
we got screens and
50
cameras
screens
and
in here.
Sorry.
So anyway, just everything that James said, I 100% agree with. That's how it was. A little bit about our story and how we got started is, honestly, to be honest, we were looking for a way out. So we are traditional business owners. We knew the way out wasn't to go back to work. I am a traditional employee in my past. So are the generations before me. And I don't want to do that because I have babies to take care of that I want to spend time with. I don't want to miss out on anything. And that's why we chose this path. And so we chose the traditional business ownership path so that we could spend more time with them. But then if you own your own business, you'll find out that you actually tend to spend less time with them than being an employee, because a traditional business consumes you. So we were looking for a way out, and we believe that network marketing in general is that way out. So that is why we're working hard towards it. But yeah, definitely everything that he said, that's the way it went. As far as health and fitness went, I mean, it was a joke for me because I was not making it to the gym more than once or twice a week. Putting my kids in the daycare with all the other kids where they are getting sick was not my idea of fun. And just actually getting out the door to go work out for 30 minutes on an elliptical because I didn't know what to do was not fun. So I didn't do it.
So fast forward 3 years, kind of bring it to the trip and kind of a little bit of what this call is about. But so the cruise was amazing, and really it kind of helps us bring it back because I think we were sitting there with Mark and their family and our family, and the kids were playing shuffleboard at the back of the ship. This is the last day of this, actually literally the last day of the cruise, because they're like looking for us to kick us out of the place because we were hanging out super long.
Literally telling me, if you're going with us on the next trip, to get off now.
Yeah, I wonder how that would work if they would just charge us. Hey, we'll just stay on. So we got our luggage on, or no, we wouldn't have our luggage. They would have gotten it off. So we're sitting there shuffleboarding up, and we're just kind of thinking about this. Like, seriously, when would you? I mean, because we had 4 families that were all together: Janina, Rachel, and the Klaniks, that we were able to get together for a lot of dinners, a lot of events, and when would you ever plan a trip that cost, I don't know, we all had our families there, so it probably cost, I mean, Beachbody altered everything, but it would probably cost $5,000 or so to take that trip, just the cruise part. When would you schedule a $5,000 trip with 4 other families that would actually work out? it wouldn't happen. It doesn't happen. I mean, unless what's that?
It doesn't.
It doesn't happen. I mean, so where the kids get to run the ship together and play shuffleboard and watch the shows and do the kids events, and we get to get closer and have fun together. It just wouldn't happen. And that kind of brings us back to every one of these trips. Andrea and I got married. We're married 11 years now, and yeah, JJ's 10. I'm sorry. We got married, 11 years ago, and on our honeymoon, we went to Riviera Maya, and we said we're going back every year. We're like, this place is amazing. We're coming back every year. Then we got pregnant, had JJ. Then we got pregnant again, had Tessa. We didn't go back. We did not make it happen. And like Andrea said, we're business owners, so the business consumes us because we're, that's our livelihood. So us taking $4,000 or $5,000 out to go on a trip was very selfish of us. We wouldn't do it. It just, not selfish, but that just wasn't our priority. So it's not something we would do.
Or in our budget.
Or in our budget, right? So 2 years ago, when Beachbody took us on the first trip, like that was we used it as our anniversary, our 10-year anniversary. Yeah, so how does that make sense?
Well, because it'll be 12 years coming up.
Oh, that's right. So that was our first trip back, our first real trip since our honeymoon, which was 10 years prior. So talking to people, it's easy to talk to because when have you taken, when was the last big trip that you've done? Or, a Caribbean trip or a cruise or something like that? It was literally our honeymoon. So we've been able to be on 3 trips now. It's been amazing. Beachbody, they take care of you. And I'm super excited for Punta Cana next year. So if you haven't register. It's free to register, and then just do the things that the requirements to get on it. I think it's 15 Success Club points a quarter. So people are gonna be dropping off that list like flies. So.
But not you guys.
Right. So get on it. Just get on the list, and then just focus on and hitting the requirements, and you guys will be there with us next year. So, what else did you take away from the trip?
Just the trip. Really, he sums it all up. Is that, he said when we were in Riviera Maya, we said we were going to take a vacation every year. I think that was more I said we were going to take a vacation every year. Because I think James could kind of probably go with or without the vacations, as I know some people on this call probably feel the same way. Me, on the other hand, I want to go to the Caribbean every single year. Even if it is just for a week. Because as a mom, even when the kids are with us, I did not have to make the bed. I didn't have to cook any food. It's literally a real vacation where, we did take time off. We took time off heading to Pennsylvania to visit his mom or heading down south in Ohio to visit my grandma. That is time off. Vacation, in my opinion, is a completely different... The definition of vacation to me is not visiting family members. So, not that you can't have family members come with you, because I do one day want to take my family with me. But yeah, I don't know. As far as vacations goes, that's one of my, not love languages. What's the word I'm looking for? It's one of the things that I really value. It's important to me. Taking time off is important to me, but also taking time off where you actually get to relax and it's a vacation, I value it. But I did put it on the back burner for many, many years. And I feel like, honestly, Beachbody has ignited that fire in me again and given us the ability to be able to make it a priority. So I will be in Punta Cana. I'm not sure if Julia will be there or not. JJ and Tessa, however, will not be there.
So one last thing. Jessica kind of said this, and this really sticks into my mind. She said it when we're sitting there watching this massive ship just tear through the water, and the kids playing shuffleboard. She's like, if we can get past some no's. If we can, shoot, I'm gonna mess it up. Totally doesn't mess it up for you, Jessica. But
you get the idea.
She said, "This is the things that can happen if you can just get past the no's," and that made so much sense. Like a no, like literally a no. You can get to successful things in your life if you can get past the no's. Kids don't care about no's. Like literally, our daughter Tessa will ask us 100 times and she'll get the yes because we don't want to say no anymore, right? So. Are you willing to hear some no's to be able to be successful? And that, I think, is all we have. Right?
That's it.
Sweet. Thanks.
Unless you have any questions,
Awesome.
of course.
Yeah.